Hello and welcome to another round of Digital Coin Op. Today we'll be taking a look at After Burner Climax on Android. The original arcade game was released in 2006. I first encountered this arcade cabinet in Walmart, and I immediately jumped at the opportunity to take it for a spin. Well, it was thrilling for sure, but like other Afterburner games that came before it, I felt that it was definitely a game of luck to stay alive versus skill. I had always sucked at these games, and although they were fun for a short burst, it was just never enough, and I always found my jet crashing to the ground in a ball of flames. However, now that I have the home port, I can definitely say there is some skill involved as well as strategy. See, the arcade versions don't really give you a whole lot of time to learn the way the game mechanics really work, and you have to feed it more credits to really get more enjoyment out of it. Of course, this is somewhat by design. The cabinet I encountered the first time, I believe, was a Commander version, which moves side by side. The only other time I found a cabinet was at Disney Quest in Orlando. Now, since Disney Quest has their game set to free play, I was able to really get in the game with a lot more time to spare, and it was worth it. The visuals in the game are fun, and the speed is incredible. But we're here to talk about the home and portable ports of the game. This game came out on PlayStation Network and Xbox Live Arcade in 2010. Then, it was later ported to iOS and Android in 2013. The only one that I've had is the Android version, the one that you're seeing here. There is one huge glaring problem with this version, and that one thing has stopped me from playing the game in the intervening years on my device that I've owned. That one thing is controller support. When it comes to an arcade port that had physical controls, I feel that controller support is a must, especially if it had been released on PSN and Xbox Arcade previously. It should not have been too much of a stretch to put it in there. Now, the touch controls are available or serviceable to a certain degree, but the one control aspect that is a bit of a game breaker is the speed throttle. This is located in the upper right hand corner of the screen and is not a great place for precise control. There are times in this game when you're given mission objectives like catching up to a target in mountainous terrain, and others where you can sneak up on an enemy. There are two ways to use throttle here. You can choose to have the on-screen representation, or you can have the accelerometer do it for you by tilting the device up or down. Neither works. As previously stated, the on-screen version is out of the way and not exactly precise, whereas the gesture version is too sensitive, and you will find the throttle bar constantly shifting unless you hold the device extremely still. There are also three buttons located on the right-hand side, from left to right. The gun trigger, then the missile button, and finally the climax button. The climax button is there so you can fill up your climax gauge. The climax button is there so that when you fill up your climax gauge, you can slow down time and simulate hyper precision as a pilot. The only issue is that climax and missile button are so close together that I accidentally kept setting off the climax mode. So yeah, a controller would have negated these issues. On top of that, all the other games that I have in my Android library have all benefited from the support. It makes a huge difference in gameplay. One example is Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transform. When Sega first released this game on Android, it only had touchscreen support, but then it finally added controller support and it made a huge difference. I was able to skillfully win at races and continue to progress normally throughout the tracks. Alright, now that we have the issues out of the way, what about the game? Okay, this game is a blast. It rockets you over all kinds of landscapes, and even through some environments. Sometimes the game is moving too fast to really dodge incoming projectiles, but the more you play, the more skilled you will find yourself at getting through the various stages. Now, something really cool that Sega and Fishing Cactus added, and that is the ability to earn achievements. These achievements also come with unlockables for the extra options part of the game when you're selecting your jet. These come in the form of extra continues, guns constantly on, and so on. There are also extra options to make the game harder, like the ability to turn off missile replenishment and be limited to only 50. Can't say that's the option for me. All in all, it's a great game in short bouts of gameplay, perfect for a mobile game. Now sadly, according to Wikipedia, the game was delisted on PSN and XBLA in 2014, and on iOS and Android in 2015. Fortunately, since I had bought the game previously, I was able to download it to my S7 Edge, but this isn't always the case. I went back to re-download my version of Crazy Taxi and was greeted with, "Your device is not compatible." I believe this is a huge issue with downloadable content. A lot of this stuff just feels like glorified rentals, because the companies can pull it down anytime they want and not continue to support it as operating systems keep getting upgraded. Very frustrating. An example of this was Namco Arcade on Android. I had bought 2 games on this compilation, Starblade and Rolling Thunder. I moved from an S6 Edge to an S7 Edge, and lo and behold, the title has been delisted. But since I downloaded it before, I was still able to download the title. But since the Namco shop has been shut down, I cannot re-download the games within it. So when buying a game from a digital storefront, just keep in mind that it can be delisted any time. Fortunately, that has not been the case with most publishers. Anyway, if you can find After Burner Climax either in arcade cabinet form or in some other form, give it a spin and give it some time. You will need to play an extended session to really learn how important the throttle is to any given mission. Anyways, as always, thank you for watching.